Good. I think everybody should have pride in performance. We talk about personal performance and anything that you want to try to do. And is that more important to you, or is it more important to somebody else? But, when you play competitive sports, the other guy's looking at you trying to figure out, how am I going to take advantage of beating this guy? And if you have pride in your performance, you're going to make sure you take care of the things that you need to do to play your best. So you learn from past experiences, you improve, and you actually gain confidence in the way you practice and the way you do things. And it fortunately helps you play better and stay focused in, the critical time in the game, in big games. So that's something that we're trying to get our players to really stay focused on is, personal performance. How can I achieve and play a little bit better? How can I prepare for the game a little bit better? How can I have the mental practice from here to there to be able to eliminate mental errors, eliminate assignment errors, so that nobody's going to be able to come in and say, we were able to take advantage of this particular person, so that you can have success. So, that's really important. I think atmosphere and environment in this game, fans, their energy and enthusiasm really can have an impact on a game like this. You impact the offense, their ability to check, their ability to communicate, sometimes get the snap count right. So I think the fans being in this game can, create not only positive energy for our team, which we certainly appreciate, and I know the players appreciate, but also make it more difficult for the other team to operate, when they have the ball. So I think, that energy and enthusiasm is really important too. So in Austin, look, you didn't ask a bad question the other night. I just didn't answer it very well. And, when a guy plays well in a game at any position, it should help his confidence and it should help him perform better in the future. But I do think that every player, has to understand that just because I played well, I still want to try to improve the few things that I could have done better. And I think if a person keeps that mindset, then they're always improving, all right, because you're never satisfied and you're always trying to do better. And you don't let complacency creep into your game. And that certainly hasn't happened with Jalen. So, hopefully the confidence that he gained in this game will certainly help him to continue to play, better and better in the future. That's what we hope for as coaches. That's what we try to encourage him to do. So, and that should have been my answer the other night.
What stands out about Texas's offensive line and what they do up front?
Well, first of all, they got a really, really good scheme in terms of, the way they try to run the ball. They try to formation you, the motions that they use, the formations that they use. And, their offensive line does a good job of getting a hat on a hat. They're big. They can play physical. They're athletic. They're pretty good pass blockers. So they're just a good all-around group, and they have plenty of experience. So, I think this is one of the better offensive teams, personnel-wise and scheme-wise, and the way they're coached to play and execute of anyone that, we'll see this year.
Go up front here with Kenny.
After the Middle Tennessee State game, Jermaine Burton said that one of the big reasons why he decided to come back was because he wanted to see himself mature as a leader. How have you seen him do that, and how has he improved on the field as well?
Yeah, well, I think Jermaine has shown a lot of maturity. And, I think the big thing we've tried to emphasize with all of our players and with Jermaine as well, who you are off the field sort of carries over into who you are on the field. So if you can be responsible and accountable to do things off the field, whether it's go to class, see a tutor, whatever it is, then that's going to create the right habits for you to do the right thing on the field. You don't get discipline when you go on the field. You get it in your life when you start getting up in the morning and start making choices and decisions about what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. So, and that's something that he's learned to understand. And I think that is carried over off the field as well as on the field. And I think that'll help him be more successful in, whatever his challenges are in the future, because he could have a really good career if he can continue to progress in that area.
Flipping to the other side of the ball, he asked about Texas's offensive line. What stands out about their defensive front and the group?
Well, the two inside guys are really, really good. Strong, powerful, athletic, can pass rush, really hard to block. Don't give up a lot of movement inside, which makes it difficult to run. Their ends are athletic, and they do a good job of playing together as a team. They've got really good energy and enthusiasm. They played really well last week, and it's a very good defensive team. So it'll be challenging for us to be able to get movement on the people that we need to get movement on so that we can have some balance on offense. And there'll be challenges in pass protection as well.
Chase? I think Nico Johnson played on 3 of your national championship teams. And of course, he's a Texas defensive GA now. How do you remember his career and what kind of coach do you think he might make?
Well, Nico is, first of all, there are championships, not my championships. There's a lot of people that contribute to that, a lot of players, and in every plaque, we want every guy's name on the plaque because they all contributed to it in a positive way. And Nico is a great person, smart player, was very productive here as a player. He's got great character. I think he'd be a great coach. He's smart, he's bright, he's industrious, he's a hard worker. So I don't think there's any question about the fact that he would be an outstanding coach.
Go to Matt.
What does the Texas secondary do well, or that's a unique challenge?
Yeah, well, they've got some really good players. They got a outstanding corner. They've got a couple of really good safeties. They've got experience. These guys are fast reactors. They can play man-to-man. They can cover you. They tackle well. They can play the ball. And they're good man-to-man players. So, those 3 factors in the secondary are always things you look for to really have a successful unit. And it's going to be a challenge for us to be able to beat man-to-man and to be able to take advantage of things in the passing game. I mean, the challenge is you got to protect, you got to be able to get open, and you got to be able to throw the ball accurately when it all happens. So that's what we're focused on, trying to get our guys to be able to do.
Yeah, Coach, you had Steve Sarkisian on your staff twice here, once as an analyst, once as offensive coordinator. What do you think he does so well as an offensive mind?
Well, I think Sark is one of the best coaches, we've ever been around when it comes to offense. He's got a great disposition with the players. He's a really good teacher. He's got a great understanding of the game, really understands defense and how to attack defenses, but has some really good concepts on offense that are hard to defend, understands how to present them in different ways so that maybe whatever you practiced, it doesn't really come up that way in the game, which makes it more difficult for defensive players. But Sark did a great job here for us, and he's doing a great job at Texas, and it's going to be a very challenging game. They've recruited well, they coach well, and they've got good players, and they're well coached.
2 to finish up, Oscar and then Kurt.
Hello, Coach. How was that moment of decision when you extend your hand to Steve Sarkisian and give him a second chance? Thanks so much. Gracias.
I like giving people second chances. I think if their willingness to try to do the right things and whatever their mistakes were, they're trying to fix it and look for an opportunity. And geez, when Sark was here the first time, he did such a good job. There was no question about the fact that we'd love to have him back a second time. He represented the program well. He's first class in every way. So I'm glad that I gave him a second chance. I'm glad that, he came here as, whether it was an analyst or whatever, proved that he could do a good job. And, went on to Atlanta to be the coordinator and, came back here to be the coordinator. So did great.
Yes, Coach, we hear this a lot when you're coaching against someone that's been here, like Sark, about the advantage that that coach may have. And I wonder if that's a two-way street, that it's some advantage to you to coach against someone that's been on your staff. Now, or two, and more likely, I think, that it never comes
Right.
up
I
in
guess the
preparation
question
or
would
games.
be is, does somebody else know more about what we know than what they know? I mean, yeah, is it an advantage to the other guy that he knows what we do? But we also know what they do. So I don't know how you put that on a scale and say that it's more advantageous to one person than the other. We always try to focus on what we got to do with our players, try to get them to play good and not really worry too much about, the other guys. But, there could be some terminology things that if you don't change it up, they might be able to take advantage of. And I think we're aware of those things and trying to make sure that we don't give them any advantages. But I think it kind of goes both ways. All right. Thank you.